So in yesterday's episode, where our hero discovered that his inmate was considering preying upon the emotional turmoil of an attractive, in his mind, she, we embarked on a very uncomfortable and strange situation. As I said, I wasn't entirely sure how I wanted to, respond to that. Like, I wanted to be supportive, but I wasn't entirely sure where I stood on that topic. It does seem a little dangerous, possibly to pursue a relationship for someone who's in crisis right now. And also, weird. So, I mentioned it to one of my favorite little nurses. She's like 80 and tiny and very funny. Calls me Miho. I mentioned to her that my inmate was probably going to try to pump her for information about that individual. And without missing a beat, the nurse goes, "Oh, you mean the hermaga, like, you mean the hermaphrodite?" "Yeah, that's it, Mio." So it turned out to be a very interesting discussion. Apparently, the girl, I don't even know what to call them, was born with both male and female sex organs, and they actually work. So his dad decided to raise him as a boy until he got to the age where he had a period, which totally freaked him out, as you can imagine. But it did explain why he felt more like a girl than a guy. And so when he got into trouble with the law, they didn't know what to do. In the state of California, they put you in prison based on your genitalia, basically. If you have a penis, you go to a men's prison. And if you don't, you go to a women's prison, regardless of whether you've had gender reassignment or not. So if you're in between, i.e. a guy with a very nice rack, lovely skin and long hair, you can, long as you still drive stick, as it were, you still go to a male prison. But in this case, they didn't know what to do. So it's actually kind of a big deal. I don't know what this person's in for, which would be kind of another important factor as far as I'm concerned. Whether it was horrific, violent, average, whatever. And I know from speaking to the transgender and a couple of the other people that amongst lifers, now when you think about it, lifers may never get out of prison. They sometimes will, form a relationship with an attractive guy who looks like a girl. I wish I could say the rhyme that the dude told me. Something about, I say from the heart, I don't want to part. I only something out, or whatever. Can't remember. It was fairly clever. He really rhymed a lot today. But apparently, some of the more attractive transgenders are treated very well, like celebrities almost. They have boyfriends, husbands, whatever, providers. They're usually treated like rock stars amongst the lifers. And so I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, this guy actually has the working female parts. He might be the queen. He might be the most desirable one. I don't know. I didn't want to bring it up, and I certainly didn't want to tell my inmate because I want no part of that weirdness. But it was pretty interesting. his case is, her case, whatever, it's apparently a big issue. So, yeah, that's odd. I don't know what else to say about that. It was pretty weird, but I really do feel for the chick, because that's gotta be incredibly alienating to be that way in a prison. I mean, prison's not probably a lot of fun for most people, but it's got to be even more so for transgenders. I think it's probably a harder place than most of us would think. But for hermaphrodite, that's got to be like, I mean, at least the transgenders have, like, you know, a sisterhood or whatever. There's more of them than one. I don't know how many hermaphrodites there are, considering that the people that did talk to me about it acted like it was incredibly rare and unique. Maybe they don't have more than one. I don't know. It was, along with the weird stand on my square deal, which I found out is a phrase used by Freemasons and the weird African Freemasons, which I started reading some of that and was just like, wait, what? What? Felt like I was getting into like the backstory from a Stephen King novel or something. It was pretty odd. But yeah, it was an interesting day. I'm glad it's over. I just went to Walmart and got a salad and a copy of State of Decay 2. I ran into Jessie, who hugged me fiercely, which was nice because I was feeling a little bummed that she didn't go with me to eat ramen. I think she's really awesome and would love to pal around with her, and hopefully one day I will be able to. And she said, hey, pro tip, when you start the game, make sure you get an extra egg. Trust me on this. You gotta get the extra egg. And I thought, like, on the one hand, it's cool that she's telling me this, but on the other hand, I feel really weird about the whole message, get an extra egg. So hopefully I will be looking for an extra egg. I don't know. Multiplayer is supposed to be a big deal with this, so I will see. I also found a thing of razors that are hybrid razors. They have a reusable handle and disposable blades, so they're better for the environment than just straight up disposable razors. And they are cheaper than just the, like Gillette multi-thousand blade, super cool expensive ones. And it had a $1 off coupon, so I was willing to try it. So yeah, salad, razors, and video game. That was my big excursion.